and I'm here on the trail with Fred Publishing, here on Fred Talks. And yes, it's all about a book called The Journals of the Invisible Man, which I happen to have a copy here. So, if you wish to buy one of these books, I'll tell you why it'll be a good idea. Basically, the books were written before Brexit, before Trump and everything. But The Invisible Man is just a guy that goes into places. He's a nobody, he's any old body. And he goes into places and he sees the corruption and he makes it visible to those around and the public. Now, he leaves it down to the public to decide what to do. But but the reason to want to buy the books, which I really love you would, is all the money we raise from these books will go to help starting Guardians Help, which is something we'll come to at the end of this little piece. As I said, the Invisible Man is nobody special. He's wanting to do the right thing and he's got no affiliations whatsoever. He's just part of an invisible group and he's just one of their operatives. In the first journal, which is written actually as a journal, it's, it just basically says different times. He sits down and writes what happened. And so the first time we ever see, he's allowed you to read his journals and enter the invisible world. We follow him as he flies to New York to expose a corrupt businessman who's vying to be the president of the United States. And this is pre-Trump. And so basically, he just shows how this incredibly corrupt man, a mobster, is starting to work his way through politics, and he's using immigration and he's using anything like an old Nazi racist way forward. So the Invisible Man went there to try and show this up. On his way there, he then comes back after trying to show the American people. He comes and suffers. We see corruption in a small level in a small Devonshire town, which then follows on to him going to Parliament, managing to get himself into Parliament as Sir John Isaac, and finding himself in circles where he is realising that there is a new thing in town, and it's called the New Order, where an ex-politician and a ex-mayor of London, who's now vying to become the Prime Minister, they both together start this to use their right-wing friends to steer the public up, start on with some lies and ruin their friends so they can get power. Power for the simple reason they want power. The Invisible Man manages to manoeuvre himself into circles in Parliament and outside and at Town Hall to actually see what this new order is truly up to. And it's quite frightening. They're using the move out of Europe, they're using all these other things to manipulate themselves into power, where they can do basically anything they want to do and have a scapegoat all the time. But because of their work, they manage to go in, expose it and leave without anyone ever seeing them. It's a bit like a Mission Impossible. The Invisible Man is sort of a James Bond, but he's just a normal guy. And that's the beauty of it. He can go anywhere, he can do anything, be unseen. And at the same time, he puts together an army of men, of invisible men, and people who are visible that are representing them, into action to help thwart basically all the things that are going wrong in this world today. Now, I come back to the Guardians Help. It's basically an initiative to help ex-servicemen as a portal back into the civilian world, because that's often a very difficult transition for them. So if you buy this book, the money will go towards starting Guardians Help. You can look out for more Guardians Help on our other little pieces that are coming up. But basically, it's something that will become apparent within the books as well. The Guardians become part of it. A lot of what happens in the journals is what Sir John and the other Invisibles are trying to do. But in this book, it's a great romp, it's a good bit of fun, and it lays the basis for the next 4 novels. So hopefully you can buy, support, and help me set up Guardians Help. Thank you.